I was born and raised in Nusfjord, and as a small child we were allowed to go everywhere into these old houses. And I know there was one landlord in Nusfjord, and when I grew up I realized that he was always watching us. So we thought that nobody sees us, but he allowed us to go into these old houses. And we played a lot. Sometimes we played the fisherman, we played the baker, we played everything. And I remember this bakery because it was very bad, but you could see the structure of the oven. And I started imagining, what if we could bring life back into all these buildings? I always had this dream about this bakery, maybe we could do something. And I was able to buy it and renovate it together with my family. And suddenly the dream became my life. "10 years since we bought the bakery, and for 5 years we renovated first the oven. It was a huge job, and we need to renovate it exactly the same way as it used to be. So we needed to find workers who knew how to do it like they did before. So we got in touch with a very nice murer. Yeah, and he built it up the same way, and he removed the broken stones. Okay, this one we will throw away, and this one we will use again. So it was like 3 months process just with the oven. And then we start with the rest of the building, like the roofs and the windows, step by step. And after 5 years, we could start baking again and using the bakery like they did. There's a lot of preparation because it's a firewood stone oven. We now know how much wood we need per day. But when we started, we did too much fire, and then the buns were burned. And next season we had too low fire, so they wasn't fried enough. So always when we begin the season, we need to feel, is the oven ready? So people are asking, when did you open? When's the first day of the season? And I said, it depends on the oven. I will open when the bakery and the oven is ready, because I can't just put a date and say it will be ready until then. It's a large oven. It's almost 12 square big. And there's stones and sand and layers. And this one, out of season, it takes moisture from the air, so it keeps a lot of moisture. So when we start a fire, we need to first dry out the oven so the stones don't crack. And when it's dry, then we could turn up the heat by firing more and more and more all day. And I could close night time, like the shuffle, close the oven, and then we start the next day. So we fire 10 hours per day in 4 days. And then just to make sure that everything is hot and First of all, we need to check which weather it is today. Is it hot? Is it cold? If it's cold, of course, we need more wood because it takes from the air. And then the wind, we feel all the temperature. And some people even tell me, "Oh, Veronica, you need to see, is it high water or low water?" And we're like, "Come on." And the moon. So it's like, if something's bad one day, I could just, it's the moon. it's because of the moon. So I always have some something to blame. So out of season, because the bakery is only open during summertime. So when the autumn comes, we need to make preparation by firewood. So we either make the wood ourselves, chop it and then dry it and then store it. So it takes half a year just to make the wood ready. So in the morning we bring in some wood and then we start a fire. And at the same time as the fire is going on, then we start to prepare the doughs for the selling that day. So it takes about 3 hours with the dough and the oven. And when the oven is ready, the dough is ready. So then we could start to. It started with me and my father because he renovated the house. He did all of these things and he helped me with the wood and with the fire. And then I started baking and he did the fire and then we cooperate. So he baked the buns and I made the dough. And yeah, because it all happens at the same time. So it's very nice to have extra hands. And then my mother, she's a seller from years ago, so she loves it. She's old, but still very nice, and she loves to get a lot of energy from people coming to visit. She's making a lot of rhubarb jam, and once I participated, and she was on vacation, so I will do it myself, but I didn't have a chance. She boiled it at a special temperature, because the rhubarb is green, and when you boil it for a long time, slow cooking, it becomes red. And I was cooking and cooking and cooking it, but it was green all the time. So it's like, okay, Mama, you do it. Yes, I will do it. But if I have dirty clothes on the tablecloths, she take them home, and she wash them, and she iron them, and every day I have like new, just like my grandmother's house. Nice tablecloth, and it's those small things who makes the difference. Like oh somebody, yeah, you could see, yeah,
you can feel it.
Yeah, she put all her energy into this. Oh, look at this tablecloth, it's so nice and ironed. And so she's behind the counter, and my husband, he helps out with everything. If I just ask him, he will, okay, I will do that. When the real workers, like the seller and the baker, has the day off, I just, okay, call somebody, friends, family, would you help me? And yeah. If the oven is too warm, I just need to first have a look at the buns where they are placed. If they are on top shelf, I need to take them down so they don't rise so fast. And then I could open everything on the oven. I could open them and then the air will go out the pipe. And when I close, the heat will stay inside the oven. So I could play with this one to get the right temperature. 10 minutes now when the oven is so hot. And then, but I always need time, extra time. But it's just not to switch. Yes. Yeah, turn down 200 up to 20. Because if I open at the same time every day when I am baking, the product won't be good. Because then I follow the clock, but I need to follow the process. I would like this one to be. So if people have time and wait, the buns will be better instead of. Yeah, the clock is here now, so we need to serve something. So we need to wait, be patient. And there's space for 120 bread, I know. Once we tried 60 at the same time, and this was like when the first one you put inside and the last one, then the first one is done, and you have all the fresh bread in the front. So okay, the limit is 60 at the same time.
Because you need to move it.
Yeah, you need to move it, or maybe you have to do it other ways, but it's huge. It's way too big for our production, but there's room for like 16 plates at the time, but I use 8 just to make sure I don't burn and don't yeah. It's a new experience to me. I used to be the one that participated myself into these courses, and it's very nice. And somebody comes into the bakery, I was like, I need to check out if I have the logistic, if I have the energy, if I have. But now I feel like they are giving me more energy than I am giving them, if you see what I mean. Yeah. So it gives me extra energy. So it has been a very good experience, because I thought maybe I'm too busy, maybe I have too much to do. But they are good, they help out, they do a lot, and they love it. So it's like, oh, nice, I feel blessed. And people are very nice, but they are curious, and if I have the time I will speak with them, I will let them inside and show them. If I don't have the time, I will tell them, just give me 5 minutes, and either I need to close the door, or yeah, you could stand in the door, but there's always someone else you could talk with behind the counter, and yeah. So that's, I don't only sell the bun, I sell the whole experience. So we need to talk with people. That's what we sell, like, yeah. If they are interested, of course. I'm very happy here. My best friend was the nature. So everywhere I go now, I need to go back to my friend. It's the mountain, it's the nature, it's the blueberry. I know every secret spots, and it feels so safe and comfortable to, yeah. So I always feel like I want to come back, no matter where I am. Yeah, this is my place. Thank you very much.